Thank you so much for doing this interview with me. For folks who don't realize this, where are we exactly right now? Because I can hear some drumming going on, and where I came in, I was just like, I would never expect this to be some kind of like music hideout. Can I call it that or what?
Yeah, it's the Rehearsal Factory. We're in downtown Toronto, Front Street East. Just getting ready for a little show we're playing this Sunday at the Rivoli, November 24th, Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. If you want to come check us out.
Fantastic. Look, well, thank you so much for the invite because I want to talk music and everything else. But you, my friend, how does it feel being on the other side on this? Because usually CP24, you're the one doing all the interviews with everybody else on the street, in the newsroom, everywhere else. And now you get to be on the other side in a whole different aspect.
And it's a lot less work.
True.
Exactly. You know what? It's great, man. Listen, this is kind of, my passion. I've been doing this for a long time. It's, most people know what I do on CP24, but, playing music and especially being in rock bands is something I've been doing for quite a while. And, the fact that people are responding to this new song, with Century Surfers and The Storm, it's been really exciting. So today we're kind of just gearing up for our first performance that's happening this Sunday at the Rivoli. It's part of an Unplugged North showcase that happens at the end of every month, and it showcases some local talent. It's going to be cool.
How long have you guys known each other, and how did this whole thing come about?
How long have we known it? Oh, we had our
friendiversary on Facebook today.
Oh wow!
So so it's our 8th year friendiversary, but we've probably known each other just over about a decade because I used to be a big fan of his band Rebel Emergency in the mid to late 2000s, and I was also another fan of his other band, Most Non-Heinous, and so I was actually a fan of Roddy's before we were even friends, and then I knew his guitar player, small music scene. We all kind of became friends, and then
I was a fan of his when he would tell the weather. He was always within 3 degrees Celsius, so I knew I could trust him.
Was that you screaming from the streets?
Yeah.
Hey, weatherman!
So here's the thing, though. So here it is. You know him from television and news and weather and all these other things. Now he comes up to you and says, "Look, I'm a musician and I'm really serious. I love rock. I want to do this." I mean, what was your initial thoughts when he comes over and tells you all these things?
Probably thought I sucked.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna suck because that's always my initial thought. Whenever it says, "Hey, I got a song," or "I can play guitar," or whatever, I always think the worst so that I can be pleasantly surprised, right? So he came over and started just shredding on guitar, and I was like, "Okay, this guy's pretty good." And then we started sort of trying to put some songs together, and it happened very naturally, and it was just kind of fun and easy writing songs with him. So we decided to keep the train rolling with it, so it's been going really well.
Is that tough? Was that tough for you because everybody knowing you in one aspect of entertainment, and knowing that you have such a passion and love for this? Is it one of those things where it's like, look, take me seriously because this is something I love to do also?
Well, I think only with the exception of my immediate friends who kind of know what I've been doing for a long time. I've been playing in the Toronto music scene. I don't want to age myself, but it's been longer than probably most people think. But it's kind of, I think, a little hurdle I've had to get over just for people to kind of take the guy that you maybe see on the news seriously when I tell people, because I'm also involved in another project, a cover band, which I love when people come check it out. I'm like, come see my band. And we go put on a really good show. But with this one, when you try and tell people, you got to listen to my song that I wrote, you really want to try and impress them, I think, with whatever you got. So I think this project has been kind of a really good representative, I think, of what collectively we can do musically. So it's been cool.
How does it work with you guys writing lyrically, musically? How's it been working for the last couple of years?
So far, he's just been sending me a number of voice notes, numerous. It's kind of nonstop, actually, and then I'll get inspired by one of them and write the lyrics and the vocal to that. So it's been really easy, actually, so far. So
yeah, basically, I'll sit down, I'll come up with, what I think is either a cool riff or a foundation of a tune. And the great thing is it inspires Roddy to, I let him do his thing. He comes up with these awesome lyrics, awesome melodies, and oftentimes he gets an idea which helps shape the music. So all of a sudden he'll maybe vocally, say something, and verbally I'll kind of catch the notes and add that to the part. And so it's been a really seamless collaboration. And also there's a silent kind of third partner in this project, which is Dusty Chesterfield, which is our producer. And he's like, he plays guitar, he plays bass, he programs and does the drums, and so he's been a very important addition to this band as well.
You know, we were just talking before we started filming about rock and respect. Do you think rock is getting the respect that it deserves these days? And also, if I want to take it a step further, Canadian rock, is it getting its respect?
Well, there's some bands out there working hard, like the Arkells and stuff, who are doing really well, and I think there's still a really strong fan base for rock. It's definitely been overshadowed by pop and country in the last 10 or 15 years, but I think the spirit is still alive, and I think if you have a great rock band, that'll always be appealing to people, especially for a live concert, because it's just so much energy, and it's just fun.
So what do you think you guys bring to the table to keep that level up there?
Well, I think just good songwriting right now, and we were kind of both influenced by like mid-90s rock and some classic rock too, but like just that spirit of like Pearl Jam and Soundgarden and Stone Temple Pilots, that rock that really had a lot of heart, and was also pretty aggressive, but also very melodic. We're trying to sort of capture that, just the soul of that, and modernize it a little bit, but still capture that feeling. But I think that was such an awesome time for rock music, so sort of hearkening back to that, I guess. Okay,
well, to do that, you got to have a single, and that's what you guys have right now. What's going on? What's the single called, and what's it about?
So it's called The Storm. A little cool story about this. A lot of times, if I go away on vacation, sometimes I come home and I'm a little inspired by the place I was at, and I did a little trip with some buddies down to Nashville, and it was the first time being exposed to the sights and the sounds of Nashville music, the players, the town. I came home and I just started working on this tune. I kind of dropped the tuning to my guitar to an open D, which is kind of a western-y kind of sound, and I just started playing. I came up with this cool riff and a cool kind of melody, and I sent it to Roddy. We kind of got together, and out pops The Storm, and I think it's a pretty cool first representation of what this project's all about, and I think the songs that are going to follow are quite rockin' too. But I think people are going to like this.
I was just going to ask that. I mean, I gotta assume there's not just one single. There's got to be a couple of more coming here.
Yeah, we got a couple more in the can, and then there's some little song babies that are forming. By the new year, we'll have. I'd say by spring we'll probably have an EP finished to put out, but we're gonna keep putting out singles. The new one is called Stars, which will be coming out in January. So,
have you guys had a chance to play this live yet?
No.
So the show that we're talking on Sunday, and let's go back. We mentioned it twice. Doesn't hurt to say it a third time. What is happening on Sunday? Because this is where we get the debut of these great songs.
Well, it's happening between 3 and 5 at the Rivoli on Queen Street West. We're going to be taking the stage together for the first time as Century Surfers. We're going to be doing 2 songs, but definitely one of them is going to be The Storm, our first single.
And you guys mentioned earlier, too, there's a Juno Award winner who's going to be hanging out there, too.
Yeah, Julie Black's playing. Always amazing to see her sing. And there's some really cool up-and-coming young artists that are on the bill, too. So it's going to be great. If you want to come out, $10 at the door. And, it's going to be good.
That's cheap.
And you know what? I want to thank Rudy, because you, for a long time, dude, you've been keeping your ear to the ground when it comes to the music scene, and it's because of guys like you that give guys like us exposure and a voice. And I want to thank you, man, because, as a guy who did it on CB24 to try and spread the love to local musicians, it's not easy out there. So I really want to thank you. I appreciate it, man.
You know what? I appreciate that too, man. But it's funny because you just actually went into my next question, though. Any chance this band's going to be performing on CP24?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I think we're actually in the process. Actually, next week we're going to be shooting the video for The Storm with award-winning director Mark Myers, who did our Kells Knocking at the Door. So we're really looking forward to that. And I think once the video's ready to go, maybe you'll see us on The Breakfast Show. Who knows? We'll see.
Okay. 2 more questions. One, is there merch? Can we get merch from you guys?
We have stickers. So we made 2 shirts, just one for each of us. But we'll get some going. Yeah, once we start really rocking, we'll get some shirts and thermoses and whatever else we can think of.
Fanny packs?
Yeah, oh.
We're doing the fanny
Fanny
packs.
packs are back, man.
Yeah,
we can
we're
do
doing-
that.
no, we're doing it.
And most importantly, too, social media is the place to go to follow you guys, whatever you're doing. Where do we go for that?
It's just at Century Surfers for everything, or my personal page is at Roddy C. What's yours?
At Jamie Gutfreund, just look me up. But you can find everything at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at Century Surfers. Yeah, and Spotify as well.
There we
check
go.
it out.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for making time. I know you got to get back and rehearse because you got a big show happening on Sunday, 3 p.m. But thank you so much. And let's talk again when you guys decide either an EP or an album is going to be in the future in 2020. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.